But since this is our first episode, I wanted to let you know what is going to happen this year for this season 3 of Bubbles and Flames and our official kickoff of the blending, affectionately now known as the Blend Game. Alright, so let me get my notes together here. Alright, if you'll drop a heart in the chat for me, if you agree to run those likes up for me. Y'all know I love the gifts, but it's more about the likes for this one. So once you all start dropping those hearts of any color, share the live for me. I appreciate it. And welcome to those that are watching on the replay. In season 1 and season 2 of Bubbles and Flames podcast, if you're not following me, can you go follow? At least do that. We don't gatekeep over here, but we are known for blends. Tonight's blends are going to be our suppliers, and no, there's nobody sponsoring me for this, but our suppliers are going to be Candle Science, Midwest Candle Co., and Nature's Garden. So I'm going to be doing blends from those 3 suppliers. So we're going to change it up a little bit. Tonight I'm going to talk to you and make sure that you are clear about what the fragrance wheel is and what the fragrance families are before we jump right into blending. If you are a beginner maker, whether you are a candle maker, a soap maker, you want to make perfume, you want to make body care, what I strongly recommend is that you learn the fragrance wheel and the fragrance families. I really, really and strongly urge you to do that. So we will go over that tonight. Then we will talk about basic blending. So why did I call it the Blend Game? So let's talk about this. Season 1 and Season 2. The difference between Season 1 are your blends for your candle makers and your soap makers. Again, let me put out a disclaimer. These blends are free, so do your research and your investigation. Season 1 has a lot of blends for candle and soap makers. Season 2, we added blends for the fragrance community, meaning the perfume lovers. There are over probably 1,000 or so blends out there, so definitely go and subscribe on the tube. It's Bubbles and Flames podcast, not Nuts About Candles, because a lot of people, even though I appreciate it, are subscribing to Nuts About Candles over there, and Bubbles and Flames is the podcast. All right, that's where the replays will be housed for this series as well, and it's going to run from today through the end of September, except for this year's with the twist. If you go over to the podcast, right, and I told you where it is, it's going to be over on the tube, you will be able to download some goodies. However, you got to go. Also, I'm going to talk about my products that I'm rolling out, and if you all could go and sign up for the email list, don't worry about it today. Once you sign up for the email list, you'll be able to get some free goodies for you signing up, as always, right? So you will be able to get a Blend Games, wait for it, you're going to be able to download your own Blend Games tracker that I created to keep up with all of these blends. Thank you to everybody sharing the live. Court, I appreciate you for that. Alright, so you'll be able to download various freebies that come with you coming over here for the Blend Games. They will also be available at some point on the podcast. Alright, so if you don't know me for Nuts About Candles, I am Tina. I am the owner and the founder of Nuts About Candles, also Bubbles and Flames, and I have a new line that I will be rolling out of merch that is Scent Nerd apparel. So a lot of things going on with that, yes. And there's also more things coming, Keisha, as well. All right, so thank you for asking. Let me introduce, because we are changing it up this year. This year we will have contests that you, the listeners, can participate in. We will also have judges, and at some point we are also going to expand to live events and Zoom. So you never know which way I'm going to do it, so make sure you tune in. And especially for those that are watching the podcast, thank you for watching and keeping up with the replay. You can put your comments, you can put your comments in and I will answer them as soon as I can. So definitely check me out over here. Run the likes up for me and run over to the tube and make sure you are following and subscribe to Bubblez and Flames with a Z podcast. So with that being said, this year, because I mentioned that we're going to have games, we're also going to have giveaways. Let me introduce you to, I know one of the judges is in here, and I will shout out the other one, and I'll recognize her again once she comes in. Our judges have nothing to do with fragrance. They are fragrance lovers, but they do not make anything. They are not makers. So when we go into the games, because it is called the Blend Games, right? Once we get into the games, these two young ladies will be judging your blends that you create. All right? So our first one, you all know and love this individual. You hear me talk about her all the time, and that would be Miss Maury. That is her model name, but she also owns the company Model Gear. So she is going to be one of the judges. She has nothing to do with fragrance except for being a longtime customer and also my bestie. So she has graciously volunteered to be a judge. So I truly appreciate her for that. And also the other judge is not in here right now, but that is the one, the only, our resident Renaissance woman. That would be Bernie or Bernadette King. So make sure when she comes in, I will shout her out. But those two young ladies will be our judges for later in the season when we do the actual games where you can get actual prizes and again for giveaways. So make sure you stay tuned and keep up with the replays because you never know where that's going to pop up. All right? So with that being said, you should have had time to go grab a pen and paper, right? If you don't, I'll give you a few minutes and let me do a quick commercial break. Shout out yourself in the comments if you are a business owner or if you just want to say hi. And share, and run those likes up for me. Right now I'm at 841. I don't know, somebody drop in the comments what the like should be. Also shout out to Shay Sprays and everybody else. Tamika, I appreciate you coming in. Essential Flames, I know you are going to be watching the replay. I want to recognize these two ladies because they're always supporting anything that I do. But wait a minute, you know I got my other wing woman up here, and I purposely have not introduced her yet because you all should know her. She is the mod. She is everything along with Court. When Court is not in the building, Keisha is always holding things down. This is her birthday celebration and also why I decided to click the Blend Games off today. Let's wish her a happy belated birthday, which was earlier this week. Alright, and in celebration of Keisha's birthday, we are also going to have some birthday cake themed blends. So a lot of blends tonight. What's up, Key? Happy birthday, happy birthday. Her birthday was Wednesday, but we all know Key is always doing a lot of things for me and for us behind the scenes. And like I said, my wing women are Courtney on one side and Key on the other. They do a lot of work behind the scenes. So you all should have had time to go and grab a piece of paper. If not, go watch the replay. So let's go with it. Let's do it. I see, Key, you made it in the house. I'm glad you made it home. And yes, I am looking up because I do work off of notes. So bear with me. I just told you what the Blend Games are, but this is the official kickoff. So let me go into my studious mode and actually tell you what are the Blend Games. This is the first official episode, and what the Blend Games is where we mix and match and sometimes completely wreck a fragrance, but we always have fun with it, right? Because we're always doing something. One of the makers is always throwing out a blend or talking about a blend, etc. So that's what we do over here. The blend games will last. Sorry, let me turn this light off. The blend games will last from now until the end of September. And why did I pick this time? Because this is our event time. If you are a maker, you should be working on your fall scents by now. Yes, I said it. You should be, and it's event time, so what are you waiting for? Let's go. All right, always, if you use any of the blends that you see here, please give us a shout out over at Bubblez and Flames. Just tag me in the comments. I always love to feature when people use the blends. All right, now, why do I want to do this? We always talk about, thank you for the shares, Tamika. We always talk about blending, and a lot of people are really getting into blending, right? As a maker, it gives you more options for products, right? People love custom, people love blends, right? So blending is a lot of fun for you, the maker. You can often come up with custom creations. You can also offer more than just the average person or average maker, right? You come up with your own blends, and these blends are all going to be between 2 and 4 fragrances that we'll talk about during these series, because I'm also going to have a subscription group where we will talk about the more complicated blends. So 5, 6, and more. So anything above 5 blends, you'll have to join the subscription group. So more to come on that, where you get the more complex blends, especially if you are into perfume making. Tamika, thank you. Don't forget to grab your heartbeats if you are a follower. I appreciate that. All gifts and likes are greatly appreciated. All right, so tonight, let's talk about your homework. Not really, but let's talk about why the fragrance wheel and the fragrance families are important. If you watch on the replay, I will insert a copy of what a fragrance wheel looks like, and also the fragrance family, so you can download that for your notes. If you are a maker, I just said this a few minutes ago, I definitely recommend you take a few minutes and learn what the difference is with the fragrance wheel and the fragrance families. All right, they are very important that you know that. It will help you be a better blender. All right, so for those of you that don't know each other, I started you all doing this earlier. Make sure you drop your name if you have a small business. Even if you're watching the replay over on the tube, drop your business. So drop your name, drop your business, and what you do. All right, so when we get to the blend portion, pay attention to the comments. Pay attention to the comments. Why? Not only are people going to be talking in there, but remember I mentioned that sniper? We got some snipers in here, and they drop blends. They don't say anything. They drop them, and they keep going. So you have to pay attention to the comments, because those are not my blends. We have some blend masters in here who drop them and keep going. All right, thank you, Tamika, for following the directions, as always. All right, one addition to the blends this year. So you all know we do blends for candle makers, soap makers, and based upon your product, make sure that you pay attention to the percentages that you are using. I am a candle maker, body care maker, and I don't do soap. So make sure you're paying attention for your product, and make sure you, especially if you sell products, that you are within the IFRA regulations. And make sure the fragrances that you've selected are safe for skin if you work with skincare or body care products and soap. Definitely. I would hate for you to get sued for using non-skincare blends, non-skin friendly fragrances, sorry. Alright, so let's talk about this. The fragrance families and the fragrance wheel. And I'm going to slow down here just a little bit for those that are actually jotting down notes. Alright, the very first thing is the fragrance families. And I'm going to repeat this a couple times. And Tamika, thank you so much for sharing the live. And also to Courtney as well. Alright, so let's talk about and break down the families, the fragrance families. It doesn't matter which sector of a maker you are, these always apply. These fragrance families apply. All right? This is going to be a brief intro. All right? And I will do a separate episode that will be over on the tube about fragrance wheel and fragrance families. Actually, there's one in season 2. I'll just update it. All right. So what does it mean for citrus? What is considered the citrus family? The citrus family is bright, fresh, and energizing. Bright, fresh, and energizing. It is often used in spa fragrances, and our popular citrus scents are normally orange, lime, tangerine, grapefruit, just to give you an idea. I'm not going too deep in it. And Tamika, yes, citrus is, and I forgot lemon. How could I forget lemon? Citrus, some people absolutely love citrus. One of my OGs, Jayla from Light the Mood Candle, she also loves everything citrus as well. All right, the next one is floral. What do you think of when you smell a floral? It is often soft, romantic, or bold. So we have citrus, which is bright, fresh, and energizing. We have floral, which is soft, romantic, or bold. All right, some of your florals that you hear often are like your jasmine, your rose, your tuberose. You said not my favorite. Yeah, I am, but I'm not a floral girly, and I'll tell you why a little bit later. All right, and you all are gonna have opposing scents. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. J. Dot. Welcome in. All right, and here is one of my personal favorites, which is the fruity category. Fruit is often known as sweet, juicy, and playful. All right, that is fruit. Fruit covers a wide variety. I'm just going to kind of keep it simple. You've got your strawberry, your blueberry, you've got the whole berry family, you've got kiwi, you've got passion fruit. Of course, we can go on and on about fruits, right? Raspberries, we can keep talking all day about fruit alone. The next one is woody. What do you think of when you smell something woody? It is often warm, grounding, but it also can be sophisticated, right? All right. Our woody fragrances often are oud, right? Sandalwood, Indian wood, driftwood. Is so many woods that we could go into, and the masculine family typically falls under woody because the guys typically go and lean with your more smoky, sensual scents, right? All right. Gourmand. This one is my favorite. Gourmand, what does that mean? Gourmand means food, basically. Gourmands are your food scents. I'm going to give you an example. Caramels, your vanillas, those are under gourmand. Your candy fragrances are typically under gourmand. Why? Because they are edible, or they will make you smell edible. So that's why vanilla falls under there as well. All right. And yes, they are turning the chat up. All right. They are edible, they are sweet, and they are cozy. That is the gourmand family, what is typically referred to. The next one is fresh and aquatic. If you like something that smells like the ocean, that would be aquatic. If you like clean, crisp, so your linen fragrances, your clean scents, they fall under clean or fresh and aquatic. That's like one category, but it's really 2 in 1. Yep, your lemongrass, absolutely. All right, and I have 2 more, Oriental and Amber. This is another one of my personal favorites. Oriental is just that. So Give me, if you're a maker and you know what Oriental means, give me some examples for Oriental. Let me see what everybody drops. And then amber. Amber is a big one, right? Amber could also fall under woody because it's often listed there. But it's up to you as a maker, just as long as you know the differences, right? And then the last one, and I know you all probably thought I forgot about it, is earthy. What do I mean by earthy? It's your trees, it's your grasses. It literally is just that. It's your earthy scents, your dirt. Yes, there is a fragrance oil called dirt, and it's your earthy scents. So let's go over what we just talked about. Citrus, which is your bright, fresh, and energizing scents. You have your floral, which is your soft, romantic, or bold. Your fruity are your sweet, juicy, and often playful scents. Woody is grounding, warm, and sophisticated. Gourmand typically is your edible, sweet, and cozy. Fresh and aquatic is your crisp, clean, and airy. For example, your linen scents. Oriental, how about incense? Nobody said incense for Oriental. A lot of people group that under Oriental. And amber, those typically are your exotic, spicy, luxurious scents. All right. And then last but not least would be your earthy, which are your trees, your grasses. A lot of people tend to play with the earthy. I know J-Dot talked about one because he wanted something with trees. All right. So often in the wintertime, we do use earthy. We use masculine, right? So what are some of your favorite families that you all like? Drop it in the comments. I know that Tamika said earthy. Excuse me. Tamika said citrus. I know J-Dot likes, his scents are more woody and masculine because he caters to men or a masculine crowd. And I'm asking you because I already know Keisha likes gourmand. Maury likes gourmand and floral, but she doesn't like vanilla though, which is interesting. I want to see which way Court is going to go because she and I go a couple different ways depending upon the scent. All right, so everybody's dropping their choices. Honesty Gems, if you're still in here, drop yours as well. And for those of you watching the replay, drop yours in the comments. I'm always interested to see what people like. So with that being said, think of it, let's talk about the fragrance wheel. Again, I'll do a separate episode on that because that's a whole episode in itself. I'll try to keep it short and sweet, but hitting the highlights and the things that you need to know. But for tonight's purpose, think of a big wheel, right? And it's like a color wheel where your opposite colors make the boldest combos and your similar colors make your nice harmonious blends, right? I can tell you right now, I'm beast mode. I'm on the opposite side of the wheel. I love the more bolder, your outlandish, your beast mode fragrances. And Court just put in, she is heavy gourmand like myself, but she also follows her nose. As a blender, she follows her nose, but as a consumer, we both like heavy gourmand, earthy, and I'm going to go masculine because I love masculine scents. And it's going to sound crazy, but I love gourmand and masculine scents. All right, and yes, throw in a little earthy for me and woody as well. All right, Keisha said, I love gourmand, but I also like some florals, fruity, fresh, oriental, and some earthy. Maury, you would also fall under the oriental or amber because you like spicy scents, such as Moroccan spice. All right? All right, so here's your first assignment. You can, and over here, assignments are your choice. So add this to your list of homework to try out. Pick 2 families you think would clash the most. Give me 2 families that you think might clash the most, but they really don't. Oh, look at Maury coming through. She said yes to Moroccan spice and sandalwood. Keisha said, give me my honey spice tonka. Love tonka. Love, love, love tonka. You can find honey spice tonka at Candle Science, by the way. Alright, I know personally one of Maury's favorites, even though she's a floral girly, she loves a good sandalwood and Moroccan spice. Tamika chimed in and said hers are citrus and woody or earthy. Alright, so you can be all over the board. And I will put this out there. Some of your best-selling blends you will not like. Believe it or not. Some of your best-selling blends you will not like. And by the way, when people drop blends, they are not going to drop, or please don't drop your proprietary blends that are your big sellers unless you realize that other people may use them, because once you drop them, they become open game. Alright, so let me put that disclaimer out there. Tamika said, Tamika of Shea Spray said, I don't like one of my popular blends. Believe it or not, Tamika, I don't either. Rosé is my number one. It is my first blend and it's my number one seller. And I didn't like it at first. Alright, and that one is rose, tobacco, or smoked vanilla, amber, and patchouli. Alright, so that's the first one. I'll drop that one. That's a variation. That was my original rosé. I do have a proprietary one that I'm not going to mention that I have, that I make it today. So I had my customers vote and they voted on the one for today. But the main components are rose, vanilla. You said only top good. Oh, it's not, you know, I did not like rosé, but I actually love it now. I love the blend that you came up with, Court, actually. And I don't like rose either, Keisha, you know that. I can't stand rose. But this is a floral, but it's a dirty floral. It is more masculine leaning because of the sandalwood and the patchouli that's in it. So you can modify a fragrance, and don't be afraid to blend. Alright? So you see they're eating me up in the comments, and my moderators love being my moderator for a couple reasons. Also, shout out to the judges. They will get special things just like the moderators do. And no, I don't need any more moderators for right now. Alright? I love rosé at first smell, but I hate rose. It is not strong in rose, and that's what Keisha is talking about. Tamika said, I don't like my winter warmth cinnamon, clove, and vanilla. Oh, that's a spicy one though. I love that. See? So that's why I said your biggest blends, you probably won't like all of them. And that's okay, because you're not necessarily creating them for you. Alright, so let's keep this thing going, and let's talk about how to blend fragrance oils properly. And she said it's so popular, but she hates it. Clove is underrated. You know what, Keith? I think I'm going to do some blends for one of the episodes with clove, because it is very underrated. And this is a perfect time. Alright, so I added that to the list. Alright, so let's talk about blending in general. So I gave you a hint about what you should learn first. Can you just walk into your studio and start blending? Yes, you can, but to be honest with you, if you don't research your fragrance families, you're probably going to waste a lot of your fragrance oil, to be honest. If you don't know what are polar opposites and what goes well together, you're going to end up wasting fragrance. You're going to get there eventually, but you will have wasted fragrance. And again, when you're doing your blends, I recommend you have a test group, even if that test group is your family. Get you some fragrance strips or some paper strips that you can cut up and test your scents on. And the dry down is everything. Always remember that. Your scent is going to start out one way when you're blending, but that dry down is really what counts, right? So we're going to talk about the components that are in your blends, or that you should think about when you are doing your blends, especially if you are making perfume. All right? So with that being said, let's talk about the proper, you've wasted so much oil. I just recommend that. If you don't get the official fragrance strips, you can also cut up paper strips. I would recommend a thicker paper because they do become saturated, and let them dry down, because initially you're going to get a reaction that's better known as your top note. You're going to have your middle note after it starts to dry down, and then you're going to have your base note, which is going to be your dry down. So I'm going to go over what that means for individuals. But cardstock works wonders. Agreed. So Courtney just dropped that cardstock works wonders. Yes, it does absorb better and gives you a more realistic ending. So you could also, here's a shipping tip: spray your peanuts with whatever scent that you have coming. You like the roasted pine, but not with the chocolate. Yeah, I told you I'm with you on that. I told you I'm not into tree fragrances, but let us know how that turns out. Yeah, chocolate and pine, it's more of I would say like a mint. I don't know. Have you tried peppermint or I don't know. I'm gonna let Keisha take that one while I keep going, because you're determined to get this tree. Yes, spray the packing peanuts, absolutely, and let them dry down. If you want to get feedback on a scent, I sprayed my packing peanuts literally 2 years ago. Andy's Cream de Mint, okay? Alright, so she just dropped that for you, J-Dot. Spray your packing peanuts and let them dry all the way down. It does not have to be a beast mode fragrance. So, if you want to test out something, people love opening packages, and what do? Oh, this smells so good, right? So pick one of your popular scents and spray your packing peanuts. But remember to keep it neutral, because everybody doesn't like beast mode. What did I spray mine with? I picked a fruity blend. I did strawberry and vanilla, because I absolutely love the scent Ice Vanilla Woods. So I added strawberry to that. Yes, your crinkle paper, absolutely. Keisha J. Dot's talking to you in the chat. Alright, so let's talk about PPE. Oh, of course. You know I'll give you 1,000 ideas, Tamika, always. You can also spray the inside of your box, because remember, spray it until it's damp but not soaking wet because of the dry down. So if you want to spray 2 different scents, like if you want to do for you, Tamika, you already know what I'm going to pick, because y'all know my favorite. I talk about it every week. Hopefully y'all can see it. That Lemon Delight. That Lemon Delight. It's kind of hard for it to, there we go, to focus. That Lemon Delight. Alright? So make sure, yep, you already know. That would be nice. It's refreshing, and it's a spa scent as well. So absolutely. So some of the PPE that you should use, at a minimum, I would recommend you use gloves. Really, you should do goggles and gloves. So let me put that out there. You should do goggles, gloves, and also don't do what I did and forget what you mix, because we're all guilty of it. Labels for your blends. Even if you do a variant of the same blend, right? So goggles, definitely gloves, labels, and a container to put your blends in. Yes, you really, and Tamika just said this too, use gloves. I know some people just like to go in there and just whip it up, but I really recommend you using gloves. That's something you can pick up for fairly cheap, and it protects your skin. Yep, you said the hands are burning. Yes. Alright? And yes, Tamika uses essential oils, which we will also be doing essential oil blends on every episode. because we do have Tamika from Shea Sprays in our community now, and she only uses essential oils. So absolutely use gloves. All right. Keisha said, I love remixing my blends. All right. So let's talk about understanding top, middle, and base notes. All right. So we talked briefly about the fragrance wheel. We talked about our fragrance families. Now we're going to talk about top, middle, and base notes. You're going to start using natural fragrance oils. Oh, cool beans. I'm excited about that. All right. Your top note. What are your typical top notes? And here's another introduction of a family. Your top notes typically are your citrus and your herbal family. Yes, that includes the number one herb, the marijuana, that loud pack, or whatever you call it, right? Yes, that is part of the herbal family. All right. So your top notes typically are your first impression. What you smell first. What do you smell first? What hits you right in your face, right? Your citrus and your herbal families. Then when you get into the middle, your middle is generally around your 30-minute or so point. What do you start smelling? Your middle is your heart. You also hear that. So your top is your first impression. Your middle is your heart. And that typically are your floral and fruity scents. And I'll go over this again in a second. So your floral and fruity scents, right? And then also your base note. So that's, what is that dry down? What is lasting? What is lasting? So your dry down typically are your heavier scents, which are in your woody family, your vanillas, and your musk. All right? So let's talk about this again. Your top or your first impression typically are your citrus and your herbal notes. Your middle or your heart are going to be your florals and your fruities. And then your base or your base notes or your dry down is going to be that lasting impression, right? Those are typically your woodies, your woody family, your vanilla family, which is also gourmand, because vanilla falls under gourmand, and your musk. So with that being said, here is a tip. Start with your base note first, then add your middle, then add your top. Without Courtney or Keisha or Tamika saying anything, why do I recommend that you blend like that? And that's just not me recommending that. Why do you put your base, or should you put your base note in first? Let me see if somebody gets it in the comments. You do your base note first, then you do your middle, and then your top. And I'll keep going, but let's see what they put in the chat. Yes, Jada, that is your strongest scent, and that is going to be, if you are wearing perfume or cologne, that is going to be your sillage. If you are making candles or room spray, that is what your customer is going to smell, that lingering smell. That is our best friend as a maker. What scent do you want to linger? If you put the top note in first, just think of it as building something, right? If you put your top note in first, right, you're not going to smell it because it's going to be down here at the bottom. Your middle is going to be in the middle, and your base, right? It should be, most people are like, no, it should be the reverse. Actually not. Your bottom note should go first, then your top, your middle note, then your top note, so that they get, you've been blending all wrong. It's okay, you're going to learn now. That's all right, and I love it, and we don't gatekeep over here, and you notice that the community speaks out. All right, so the proper way is your base note first, then your middle, then your top. Why? Because especially if you're burning a candle, that top note's going to burn off. If you're doing a room spray, it's going to evaporate the quickest. All right, and there are variables to that, but you want to do your strongest scent first. Alright? Alright. What's your biggest struggle when you're blending your scents? What's your biggest struggle? What's your biggest struggle with blending? What is your biggest struggle with blending? Figuring out what smells good together. Well, you got your fragrance families, right? And I know, because Tamika, you watch everything, so I know you're going to watch the video about the fragrance wheel. So it'll help you. That will clarify. It's also out there in season 2. Yes, Q-tips are your best friend. Season 2, there is an entire episode on fragrance families and the fragrance wheel, where you can actually see it. If you're not going to go out there and watch that, which I hope you will, look up the fragrance wheel, because you definitely need that as a maker. Look up the fragrance wheel. You can do similar scents like you do, Tamika. That's for Tamika. Or you could do bold or beast mode like I like to do. My customers like beast mode scents. I do some softer scents, but usually they come back and ask me for something stronger. Because my softer scents are pretty much top notes, and they're like, oh, I can't smell it. That's because you want something soft, and we are team beast mode and team overspray over here. Alright? But play around with it. And I like what Keisha said. Mine was just confidence. Keisha has been with myself and Courtney for over 5 years now, and now she's really getting very deep into blending, and now she just throws stuff out there, which is so entertaining to me. I can't wait till she launches her line and you all get to experience some of the blends. Even your soft scents are beast mode. Like, hey, I told you we're team beast mode over here. Team overspray. Even with team candles, choke them out. Choke them out. Because my customers like that. J-Dot says, I started with blends just mixing stuff. Absolutely. Go for it. Go for it. That's why, and J-Dot put out there another hint with the Q-tips. Very inexpensive to get. Let them dry down so you can see what the dry down is going to smell like. Because a lot of people, again, Tamika, right. Tell them about my experience on Thursday. You're up here on the stage, birthday girl. You can tell them. You want to unmute real quick?
Y'all, let me tell y'all something. Tina's trying to be so very humble. Tina is a blend master. I wore one of her scents on Thursday when we went out to celebrate my birthday. And I walked into the store.
Wait a minute, Keisha. Courtney, listen to this because you will be proud of your students. Carry on.
I walked into the store and the young lady looked at her coworker and said, oh my gosh, she smells so rich.
And therefore expensive was born.
There you go. There you go. She said she smells so rich. Then another lady was like, oh my goodness, she smells heavenly. So Tina be sleeping on her own self.
I think I'm gonna do heavenly as another one. Hold on, you know I do. Y'all know I always got to jot down something.
I put that in my I put that in the notes section in my phone.
Okay, good. There you go.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean it was amazing. Everywhere I went, I had so many, and out of all the stuff that I had worn, that particular blend has gotten me the most compliments.
So, disclosure.
So you are a blend master. I bow down.
Child, please. That's you and Courtney. So, Court, this is for you. You want to hear something funny? Keisha has been blending in the background, and she told me what her signature blend is, and I told her what mine is. How about we wear each other's? I like hers, and she likes mine. But I'm still going to put mine out, though, as well. I'm gonna put that signature blend out. It's more.
And when I first told her what my signature blend is, she didn't think it was gonna work. She was like, "Yuck."
Right. Tamika, do you really want to come up here, or you hit that by accident? Let me see. Courtney said it'd be like that sometimes. I gotta send them to you, Court, too. Oh, it's an accident. Okay. I got excited for a minute. I was like, what? Tamika's coming up here? But I know this is your version of Netflix and chill on Sundays. You're like, I'm not coming up there. Y'all see me all week. And go follow Shay Sprays too. She's live all the time. Anyway, y'all know I like to do the shout outs. Alright, so let's keep going. And let's talk about, because y'all know I got my notes to keep myself organized here. Let's talk about basic blends. Starting out, the fragrance wheel is meant to be obliterated. Blend that shit. I love it. I love it. Alright. So we talked about our families, our fragrance families. We talked about how to safely blend. Now let's talk about basic blending. And when I say basic blending, I'm talking about 2 to 4 oils. Oh, something else that you can get are pipettes. Again, not needed initially, but they'll come in handy later. So, scales, pipettes, samples, right? Whatever you're going to put your samples in or your blends in, right? Again, you don't have to run out and get these things, but I definitely recommend the scale and pipettes at some point, along with the gloves, the goggles, and what else did I say? Oh, the labels. The labels are the most important thing, along with the gloves and goggles. As you grow, you're going to want to get a scale, which I definitely recommend, and something to put your blends in. But people come up with all different types of things, but one thing I do not recommend that you get is a plastic container. Do not put your fragrances in plastic containers. Why? Because you will come back at some point to a mess. Fragrances will eat through plastic quickly and easily. Make sure it is glass. Ask me how I know, because nobody told me that. So make sure that you are using glass or metal containers so that your fragrances will not eat through them. Alright? So, very first thing you want to do, 2 oil blends. We talk about them all the time, right? What is your favorite 2 oil blend that you've tried, if you've tried? Or give me 2 of your favorite fragrances. Give me 2 of your favorite fragrances. Alright, while you all are dropping them in the chat, mine are, okay, we've got rosemary and grapefruit. I love it. Rosemary and grapefruit. Alright. How about one from opposite families? One from opposite families. So you've got a 2-step or a 2 fragrance blend. That is true, Keisha. Thank you. If they don't eat through the plastic can and will absorb the fragrance, and the scent will diminish. Miss Mahogany Organics in the building. Patchouli Blends. How are you, my friend? Everybody, make sure you go follow Mahogany Organics. Again, another OG over here in this community. She pops through when she can. Ooh, Jada, fire suggestion. Palo, Sandalwood, Jamaican Me Crazy. Oh, I gotta try that one myself. I like that one. Because you've got your sandalwood and you've got your fruity. And do not be intimidated by some of the blends that you see. Some of the people that come through for the blend games are master blenders, or they have been blending for years. Alright? I appreciate you, Keita. There she is, Miss Unapologetically Me in the building. I hope you've been well, my friend. For those of you that just tuned in, I will be uploading the replays of this over on Bubblez and Flamez, the podcast channel on the Tube. Most of you are already following me, but if you're not, please please go and subscribe over there. Yes, Wick and Lather is in the building. All right. All right, so let's keep going. So now let's talk about, so that's a two-step blend. Now, when we talk about ratios, notice I haven't given you a ratio because it's what you want to do. You can do 50-50, 75-25, 60-40, right? 80-20, 90-10, because it depends on what you want your blend to turn out, how you want it to turn out. If you're doing 4 cents, you might do 25, 25, 25, or, you know, to make it 100, right? So, rarely will I give you specifics on percentages unless it's a specific recipe. And even though I may give you a specific blend recipe, you feel free to adjust it, right? Alright, so now with that being said, think about a 3-step blend. 3 steps, meaning 3 fragrances: a middle, a top, and a base. A middle, top, and a base. Alright? So a middle, top, and a base. Oh, here comes Miss Wick and Lather. Drop it heavy already. Very vanilla and sandalwood. 75% vanilla and 25%. Right? So she's already dropping. Alright, so remember, I already told you that people drop blends, and I may or may not acknowledge them depending upon what I'm talking about. So you have to watch the comments. You have some of the season 1 and season 2 blends? Is that what you mean? Alright, and J-Dot and Wick and Lather, aka Unapologetically Me, they both just dropped blends for you all. You need me? Alright? Just text me. If you all hear me talking, I don't know if you all saw that my godson is now here with me for Kenny. So he's already getting on the videos. He's over on the Bubblez and Flamez channel. He did do a video for me, if y'all wonder. I'm not talking to myself, and I'm not talking to Zeus. Alright, so let's keep going. Which one of the blends that were dropped, Auntie Key and Auntie Maury said, "What up, nephew?" Which one of the blends of the ones that were just dropped would you buy? Okay, thank you. I got you. Out of the blends that the other makers just dropped, which one would you buy? Ooh, we got vanilla and sandalwood for sure checking in. Alright. Let me do a recap, because what we're getting ready to do is actually start dropping the blends for tonight. Alright, so let me get myself together. And thank y'all for running the likes up for me. I do see that. Bear with me for 1 second. In the chat, what do you all think about what you have heard so far? And take this time, if you have not already went to grab pen and paper, or if you're just going to go listen to the replay, because we're getting ready to start dropping the blends. Does everybody, before I move forward, definitely an OG for the vanilla and sandalwood, and she even gave you the percentages. So remember, when I'm dropping blends, to pay attention in the comments, because remember, the snipers drop stuff too, and they keep it going. They may not say anything else. They may give you percentages, they may not. Alright? And tonight's featured suppliers are Candle Science, Nature's Garden. What was the other one I said? Oh, how could I forget? Midwest. Yes, Midwest. Alright. So it looks like our top vote's going to be for vanilla and sandalwood. So if you sell a vanilla and sandalwood candle or product, drop it in the comments. All right. Some of the things that we have coming later in the season are going to be blend offs, where you come up with a blend and we get to vote on it. All right, and some of them will be for prizes. All right, so if you all are ready, these are some of the blends that go with what I talked about earlier. All right, so if you are ready, I'll give you a second to grab a piece of paper. If you're watching a replay, thank you for watching, and make sure that you go back and you share the live, share the live, share the podcast, and I'm trying to grow the community. We should have way more people in here than we do. But a lot of people don't know what we do over here, right? We do what we do, and we talk about content too, right? And shout out again to Essential Flames. Yes, Key. Advertise your business everywhere you go. Find a way to work it into your conversation. Absolutely agree with that. So, with that being said, let me give you the first blend. Tamika, this is not for you, but it is for you. All right? Always remember to pay attention to the comments. For these blends, I am going to give you the percentages. All right? And Tamika, me too. Me too. All right, if you all are ready, the first one is called Fresh Start. It is a crisp and energizing blend because it is 50% grapefruit, 30% green tea and lemongrass, and 20% cedarwood. Fresh Start is 50% grapefruit, that's from Candle Science, 30% green tea and lemongrass from Nature's Garden, and 20% cedarwood from Midwest Candle Co. This is a bright, clean blend, great for showing citrus, herbal, and woody. All right, the next one is Sweet Comfort. Sweet Comfort is comprised of 20% almond, 50% warm vanilla sugar, and 30% tonka bean. Alright? That is Sweet Comfort. It is a cozy gourmand blend. And we have 20% almond from Midwest. We have 50% of warm vanilla sugar from Nature's Garden, and 30% tonka bean from Candle Science. To me personally, unless Court chimes in otherwise, one of my favorite, if not my favorite, tonka beans is from Candle Science. Now, mind you, let me put this disclaimer out there. They may not have these exact names, because I've had these for a while, but try to get as close as you can, or you can find another supplier. So use what you have, or find something outside of these three suppliers that'll make it work for you, because these are actually, I matched these up based upon what I was talking about. So these are old blends. So why did I give Sweet Comfort? It is a cozy gourmand, and it is a simple 3-note basic gourmand blend, but it is a perfect heavy blend. It's a base heavy blend with that warm vanilla sugar. And so you notice the first two I gave you are kind of like fall blends, because you should be thinking about your fall blends or year round. Yes, I know you would use the Spice Honey Tonka. Tamika, I kept you in mind when I picked that one. The next one is called Twilight Bloom, and it is 25% bergamot, 45% lavender, and 30% patchouli. All right. Okay. Let me know what you think about that. Twilight Bloom is a floral but a deep blend with 25% bergamot from Candle Science, 45% lavender from Nature's Garden, and 30% patchouli. Why did I pick that one? Because it is a floral with an earthy twist, and it shows how you can give some depth to lighter notes. Alright, that is Twilight Bloom. Blend number 4 is called Summer Smoke. Summer Smoke is 40% mango and coconut, 35% tobacco, and 25% sandalwood. What? Let me tell y'all. So let me substitute on my own, because I just made a mistake, but I call my own self out. Mango and coconut, I put Nature's Garden, but I meant to put Candle Science. That's my favorite one. That mango and coconut from Candle Science just hits different. But Nature's Garden has it, but that Candle Science one, it just hits different. Tobacco, from Midwest or any place that has tobacco. Kind of, sort of, not really. Some of them, yes. I combined a lot of names. I do that often. And then sandalwood from your favorite supplier for sandalwood. Why did I pick this one? Opposites attract. Y'all want to know how I come up with beast mode stuff? Opposites attract. Fruity, tropical meets smoky wood. You can use anything that you hear, Tamika. Once I speak it, it becomes open game. Alright, and again, you will be able to listen to the replay to get these. You can call it whatever. I would rename it. But you can use whatever blends you hear. Just rename them. I would anyway. But that has the fruit that I like, but it also has the smokiness of the wood. So see what I mean? Can you combine fragrance families? Yes. Yep, the only thing I asked Tamika is that if you use any of the blends, just shout out that you got them from here or from Bubbles and Flames. Really from Bubbles and Flames, either one. Because I'm going to post it on both channels anyway. I appreciate that. But if you hear anything that you want to use, grab it. Put your own twist on it, but I would definitely rename it. Yep, or use ChatGPT. Absolutely. All right. Let's see. Do I have some more? You never know. All right. So let's keep going. These are your wild card chaos blends, and that will make sense to you in a later episode. These are your chaos or wild card blends. You ready? Here we go. The first one is Lemon Leather Latte. Lemon Leather Latte is comprised of 40% lemon verbena, 30% leather, and 30% coffee bean. Candle Science, 40% lemon verbena, leather, 30% from Nature's Garden, and Midwest coffee bean, 30%. So 40, 30, 30. So why did I pick that one? Because it's a clash or chaotic blend. Because the lemon and leather can clash if you're not careful. So it can either go smooth or it can be like, ugh, and make it worse. Me either, Keisha. You know I have to do my research, and I tried all of these. So to be honest, I toned down the leather for me because I'm not a leather person. It was kind of strong to me. So use your discretion on this one. But again, 40% lemon verbena, leather 30%, and coffee bean 30%. Lemon leather latte. And again, feel free to rename whatever you hear. This next one, I actually liked this one. Yes, it is more, that one did come out more masculine to me as well. It actually made a good room spray because the lemon balanced out the leather and the coffee bean. And it's an unexpected combo. Alright, so Court just dropped the gem. If you don't like leather, the smoked tobacco. I need to try that with that smoked tobacco, because you know I love smoked tobacco. Alright, the next one, Beach Bonfire Candy. Beach Bonfire Candy is comprised of 35% cotton candy, 40% driftwood, and 25% Bonfire Bliss. Bonfire Bliss is Midwest at 25%. Candle Science for the driftwood, cotton candy, or your favorite cotton candy from Nature's Garden. You like that one? That's like a sweet, sugary, meat smoky again. So that one, believe it or not, could actually be a unisex scent. How is it that it could be unisex? Because of that driftwood and that bonfire. That driftwood is your base, 40%. So let me give that to you again. Beach Bonfire Candy, cotton candy, cotton candy 35%, driftwood 40%, and Bonfire Bliss. You are funny, kid. 25%. All right, we're going to keep going. Rose on the Rocks. Rocky Rose. I think I like Rocky Rose better. I put both. It is 45% rose petals, and that is, rose petals is from Candle Science. 35% Whiskey Barrel. That's from Midwest. And that infamous Sea Salt and Orchard from Candle Science. 20%. Let me go over it again. I had put Rose on the Rocks, but I like Rocky Rose better. 45% Rose Petal from Candle Science. Yeah, I like Rocky Rose better. Whiskey Barrel from Midwest. And Candle Science Sea Salt and Orchard 20%. So 45, 35, and 20. The reason why I picked this one, this is floral. It's boozy. But yeah, it's an interesting blend. So be careful, because it can turn out fancy or it can be funky, to be honest. Not just the name, but the scents intrigue me. Yeah, you know, y'all got me challenged for my OGs in here. For you, Court, Mahogany Organics, J-Dot, because you all are blenders, so I had to try to think outside of the box with some of this stuff. To be honest, I toned down the whiskey because it took over too much for me. Oh, we just getting started, baby. Yes, Court, please do, because I want to see what you come up with. I toned down just because of what I learned from Court with your leathers, your whiskeys. I toned it down when I made it. So, but you know I'm partial to Candle Science with the rose petals. So it does not smell as floral as you think it does. Alright, so one more time, since there's a lot of people that like that. 45% rose petals. I recommend, they're mixed tonight. 45% rose petals. 35% Whiskey Barrel. Of course, you could just use whiskey. And Sea Salt and Orchard. And Candle Science carries all of that, except for Candle Science carries whiskey. So 45, 35, 20. I do, yes. Yes, ma'am. I let them macerate. 2 weeks at a minimum. I'll let the others chime in. J-Dot, there will be an episode dedicated to fully to just masculine scents. But for this one, I'm mixing them all up, because we have a mix of people in here. So this next one is kind of a winter blend. I don't know, J-Dot, you might like this one. I tried to give something for everybody. Tamika, Keisha, Court, and of course I can't forget about J-Dot. Yeah, it's up to you. It's up to you, Tamika. All over. Oh, thank you, Keisha. Yeah, check it out. Because once they sit a little longer, especially with your room sprays, they're gonna blend, they're gonna smell better together. Sorry. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Tamika, you always do. All right, here we have Gingerbread Grove. On this one. This one is 50% gingerbread, 25% eucalyptus, and 25% balsam fir. 50% gingerbread. I used a sample because I don't like gingerbread. I had a sample of it, so I said, let me use it. Eucalyptus 25% and balsam fir 25%. Doesn't matter. I use Candle Science, but whoever on this one. I'm trying to give J Dot with these freaking trees to try to blend some. If you use that one, J Dot, let me know. That eucalyptus and balsam fir though was good because I tried that separate, that two-step blend. I actually like that. It is a Christmas blend, and that's why I picked it. It is holiday dessert meets winter forest. Yep. So I tried to pick something that was out of the box. I'm not a gingerbread person, but people ask for gingerbread. You want to try it? You go for it. All right. So let's see. All right, y'all want me to keep going or y'all tired? Y'all want me to keep going? Because I got more. I have a lot more actually. All right, so I'm going to keep going. This one, so I'm going to give you, how many do I have here? I have 8 coming up that match up. These are all fragrance family blends. Yeah, yes, you can, of course you can. Alright, I'm not finished, Tamika. I got a whole blend thing that I did just for you for essential blend. For essential oils, excuse me. Let me know when you get tired. So I'm going to do these 8 and then I'm going to flip over to the other blends that I did specifically for in celebration of Keisha's birthday, and then I always owe Tamika essential oil blends. Okay, so we had something dropped in the chat. So this first one is called Sweet But Psycho. And some of these names will make sense to you on later series, why I named them what I named them. Because I'm rolling out a lot of stuff with the Blend Games on as far as my products go. I'm rolling out a lot of stuff. So Sweet But Psycho will make sense later. But it is 40% black raspberry vanilla, 35% Bite Me from Nature's Garden. It is 25% vanilla birch. If you don't like vanilla birch, which is a tree, and vanilla, then you can substitute just regular vanilla. Let me give you the breakdown. It's 40% black raspberry vanilla, which I use Candle Science. Bite Me is 35% from Nature's Garden, and vanilla birch is from Midwest Candle Co. Alright, I picked that one because it's bright with the berries, that citrus is in there, and that warm vanilla. So it actually can be made into a scent for Valentine's Day, because it also can be romantic if you swap out the vanilla for vanilla birch. Alright, Sweet But Psycho. Again, feel free to grab these and change the name if you like. Alright, the next one, I'm going to keep it going. So that is a Fruity Gourmand family, sorry. The next one, let's see if J Dot likes this one. Midnight Woods. Midnight Woods is comprised of cedar wood at 45%, patchouli at 30%, and 25% cashmere cedar. Midnight Woods is cedar wood at 45%, patchouli is 30%, and cashmere cedar is 25%. And I would sub cashmere, because a lot of people like cashmere. So I would sub that instead of the, unless you want it more masculine. I would sub 25% cashmere, but that's just me. Why did I pick that one? Because it's in the woody family. It's calm. It gives earthy woods and cozy cashmere. Thank you. Yes, cocoa cashmere. Thank you. I couldn't think of the name, but yes, I would do the 25% cocoa cashmere. Unless you want that heavier cedar. I would say taste, but cedar smell. Cocoa cashmere. Oh, I said cashmere cedar. Never a dull moment is in the building. Hello, my love. Happy Sunday. Yeah, let's just say cocoa cashmere to keep it simple. Because cashmere cedar is actually a 50-50 blend, and I didn't want to go too deep on that. So I would just use the cocoa cashmere. Yes, I used a blend within a blend. Alright, Tamika, if you are still in here, this one might be for you since you like the spa. It's called Coastal Drift. It is 50% sea salt and orchard from Candle Science. It is 30% ocean breeze, Nature's Garden, driftwood at 20%. And that one is very relaxing. It is in the floral, fresh, and aquatic families. Alright, Coastal Drift. Very soft florals, has that aquatic scent to it, but sea salt and orchard, 50%, 30% ocean breeze, 20% driftwood. Alright, and I need to make myself a note because Tamika is going to be using clean scent, so I need to make sure that I add some clean scent blends. When I say clean scents, meaning clean fragrance oil, which is a different category from regular fragrance oil in some cases. Alright, I'm going to continue so I can get to the other ones. Golden Hour. Golden Hour is comprised of 40% honey. 40% honey. I already know that Keisha is going to alter this because she likes honey spiked tonka. So 40% honey, 35% warm vanilla sugar, 25% amber and oud. She said you know it. Golden Hour, or whatever you want to call it, is honey at 40%, 35% warm vanilla sugar, and amber and oud. Disclaimer here to be transparent, I used warm vanilla sugar from Africa Imports, because that's what I had. So, of course, the highlighted suppliers are Candle Science, Nature's Garden, and Midwest, but you can use your favorite. The reason why I picked Golden Hour is because it is a warm gourmand. A lot of people can wind down with that honey in there, amber, and then that vanilla back. Ooh, sorry, my nose is itching. Alright, that must mean that's some money coming. Alright, the next one. This one is a Tamika blend again, because she likes citrus. And this one is called Spiced Citrus Glow. Spiced Citrus Glow is comprised of 50% blood orange, 20% cinnamon buns, and 30% cardamom and cream. Cardamom is also slept on a lot as well. Spiced Citrus Glow, blood orange from Candle Science, but of course use your favorite supplier. Cinnamon buns is from Nature's Garden, and cardamom and cream, I have Midwest, but I believe Candle Science has cardamom and cream also. Why did I pick this? It is energizing, it's comforting, it is a citrus spice, so it's from the citrus family, but it is also from the Oriental and Amber family because of that spice, and it has orange, zesty orange, with the spice and creaminess. Alright? Spice Citrus Glow. This next one is more so for Maury, if she's still in here, from Model Gear. Whispered Musk. Whispered Musk is 45% white tea. Yes, white tea. 35% Egyptian musk and 20% sandalwood. Whispered Musk is 45% white tea, 35% Egyptian musk, and 20% sandalwood. That dry down is that musky sandalwood. It is everything. Why did I pick that? Because it is a soft but floral woody musk. So I love anything that is woody and musk, and she likes the floral. It's a minimalist and it is appropriate for work. Alright, that is Whispered Musk. This next one, I'll just be honest with you, I did it for me. Smoked Vanilla Bean. If you know me, you know I love anything vanilla. Smoked Vanilla Bean is comprised of 40% vanilla bean. You can also substitute vanilla. Campfire marshmallow at 35%. Okay, Court, thank you. Have a good night, too. I know you have to get up early tomorrow. Alright, let me start over. Smoked Vanilla Bean is 40% vanilla bean, 35% campfire marshmallow, and 25% smoked oud. Why did I pick this one? Because it is gourmand, it is woody, it is intimate nights by the fire, it is sweet, creamy vanilla with that smoke. Whew, I don't need to say anymore. But smoked vanilla bean. Last one is Forest Citrus. Forest Citrus, this is a bright, woody. This is for Tamika and for J-Dot if he's interested, right? Because Forest Citrus is comprised of grapefruit and mint at 50%, 25% pine, and cypress and bayberry at 25%. So that's another blend within a blend. 50% grapefruit and mint, 25% pine, and cypress and bayberry. So I picked that one because it has that bright citrus, but it also is cut with that pine and the woodiness from the from the cypress. All right, that is in the citrus and the woody family. All right, so I know it's getting time to where I may lose some people off of the live, but do not forget that the replays will be available. The replay will be available later this week over on Bubblez and Flamez podcast, and that's Bubblez and Flamez podcast with the Z on the tube. So make sure that you subscribe to my Bubblez and Flamez page on the talker, and then you'll know when I post it on the tube. Welcome into Rainbow Soul Candle Co. Miss Tracy and her wifey. I hope that you all are doing well. Alright, Forest Citrus is the last one that I had as far as the blends that match the fragrance families. However, I did do some special blends tonight, so let me switch gears here. And these special blends are in celebration of Miss Keisha from Keisha Allen. This is her birthday party as well as our kickoff. So I did some birthday cake fragrance blends. Alright? And then I will wrap up with the essential oils. Alright? For Miss Tamika. Alright, so let's go through these pretty quick. Alright? And Keisha, happy birthday. Belated. Welcome into my makers that are just coming in. Thank you. We are in the process of doing blends for candle, perfume, and fragrance product makers. If you want to catch the full replay, you can go over to the tube and follow me at Bubblez and Flamez podcast with a Z. I will post the replays there, and you can play them over and over. Just make sure that if you use any of the blends that you give me a shout out. I greatly appreciate it. And also over on the tube, there are season 1 and season 2 blends. So if you go through, you should have probably over 1,000 blends. Season 1 is again for makers. Season 2, you have perfume blends and blends for makers in there as well. And we are kicking off season 3 tonight. So grab a pencil and paper. We're going to get started because I do have a lot more blends before I wrap it up at 11. So let me get going. All right. So Miss Keisha, if you are ready, I started off with your favorite category, which is gourmand. Gourmand is what? Our sweet and edible family. And the first one is birthday latte. I did not do the percentages on this. So adjust accordingly and pick whatever supplier that you want. All right? Because I went for quantity on this one of blends. So in the gourmand category for Miss Keisha, that is her favorite category, birthday latte is birthday cake, coffee bean, and vanilla bean. Birthday latte is comprised of birthday cake, coffee bean, and vanilla bean. The next one is frosted almond, which is birthday cake, almond, and amaretto. Frosted almond is birthday cake, almond, and amaretto. Rounding out our gourmand category is coconut confetti. Thanks for all the likes, I do see them. Which is birthday cake, coconut cream, and white sugar. Yes, there is a fragrance oil called sugar. If you like the scent heavy cream, you can also go to Duke Fragrance Company. They do have a sponge sugar, which is a spot-on dupe for Fleur's heavy cream. Alright, so that last one was coconut confetti, birthday cake, coconut cream, and white sugar, or just sugar. Continuing with our next favorite category is fruity. Fruity. The first one is berry bash. It is birthday cake, strawberry, and blueberry. Birthday bash is birthday cake, strawberry, and blueberry. The next one under the fruity category is citrus celebration. Citrus celebration is birthday cake, lemon zest, and orange cream. Birthday cake, lemon zest, and orange cream. So if you have orange fragrance oil and lemon fragrance oil, yes, you can use those as well. Tropical Party is the next one. She loves a good tropical island, and that is birthday cake, pineapple, and mango nectar. And I'm going to put in a substitution there. If you don't want to use mango nectar, you can also use the mango and coconut from Candle Science. Man, that makes it fire. So pineapple, mango nectar, or the mango and coconut, and all of these have birthday cake in them. Alright? The next one is the floral category. She's not a big fan of floral, but I had to add in for my floral lovers. The first one is called Sugar Petals. It is birthday cake, jasmine, and peony. Sugar Petals is birthday cake, jasmine, and peony. The next one is called Cake Blossom, and it is comprised of birthday cake, rose, and honeysuckle. Birthday cake, rose, and honeysuckle gives you Cake Blossom. For those of you that are new, feel free to grab any of these blends that you hear. The only thing I ask is that you give me a shout out or tag me if you use the blend so I know which ones are the popular ones. But There's no gatekeeping over here, and once you hear it, it is open game. Just put your own spin on it. Continuing and closing out the floral category is Sweet Violet. She might actually like this one because it's birthday cake, violet, and her favorite, vanilla musk. Sweet Violet is birthday cake, violet, and vanilla musk. We move on to the woody and earthy. The first one is Rustic Bakehouse. Rustic Bakehouse, Keisha, you'll probably love this one because it is birthday cake, sandalwood, and tonka bean. Rustic Bakehouse is birthday cake, sandalwood, and tonka bean. So it has that woody and earthy and sweetness of the cake. Alright. The next one is Campfire Cake. Campfire Cake is comprised of birthday cake, smoked cedar wood, and marshmallow. Campfire Cake is comprised of birthday cake, smoked cedar wood, and marshmallow. The next one is Spiced Cabin. Spiced Cabin is comprised of birthday cake, patchouli, and cinnamon sugar. So that's a blend within a blend. Birthday cake, patchouli, and cinnamon sugar. The last one in this area, so that I can get to the essential oil blends, is the fresh and clean category. And the first one is called a Sparkling Linen Cake. Sparkling Linen Cake is comprised of birthday cake, clean cotton, and powdery musk, which you can substitute regular musk. Sparkling Linen, birthday cake, clean cotton, and powdery musk. The next one is Minty Frosting. Minty Frosting is comprised of birthday cake, peppermint, and vanilla cream. Minty Frosting again, birthday cake, peppermint, and vanilla cream. And last but not least, and again, shout out to one of my best mods ever, and my wing woman, Lemon Sugar Cake. Lemon Sugar Cake is birthday cake, lemon verbena, and white musk. But I already know she's going to sub that vanilla musk. Alright? Lemon Sugar Cake is comprised of birthday cake, lemon verbena, and white musk. Alright? So with each one of these blends, they balance that heavy gourmand of the birthday cake with a new fragrance family. So I want you all to start challenging yourself. Thank you for the gifts and all the likes. Alright, and you've got blends that range from bakery to elegant. So I hope you all heard something. Those were specially picked for Keisha. Again, she does a lot over here on this channel, so we wanted to honor her for her birthday. Happy belated birthday, my friend. Alright, and last but not least, still in the birthday cake realm, for the one, the only Shea Sprays, back at you, my friend. For the one, the only Shea Sprays, Miss Tamika. Essential oil blends. We now will have these on each and every episode for those that use essential oils. So here are 10 recipes that are inspired by birthday cake. Alright, so when you are using the essential oils, these are based on a 10 ml dropper, and yes, I looked these up to make sure I was right with I had the blends, but I want to make sure I had the number of drops right. So Tamika, correct me if I'm wrong, I was going for 2 to 3% essential oil to keep it safe for skin. So no more than 9 drops in a carrier oil. And I followed the 30, 50, 20 rule. But feel free to adjust it as needed. Alright, so 10 millimeter recipe for a roller or dropper bottle, because I wasn't sure which way she was going to use it. And my goal was to keep it skin safe with 6 to 9. She's okay, so I'll give you skin anyway, even though Tamika doesn't do skin yet. She might think about it. All right, and I'm following 30, 50, 20. So Tamika, of course, you can adjust these recipes as needed. The first one is classic birthday cake. Orange, 1 drop. Vanilla, 2 drops. Sweet almond, either the fragrance or the essential oil, 2 drops. And that is rounded out by tonka bean, or tonka rather, 1 drop. Alright, so your top is going to be the orange, your middle is going to be the vanilla, and the base is tonka bean. And that's going to give you that warm, creamy, nostalgic birthday cake. And Tamika, these are on theme for tonight anyway, so let me know if I need to do some more for you specifically. Alright, the next one is called berry frosting. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Classic birthday cake. Orange, 1 drop. Vanilla, 2 drops. And you can either use sweet almond fragrance or almond essential oil, 2 drops. So 2 drops vanilla, 2 drops sweet almond, and 1 drop tonka bean. And give me a thumbs up or a heart when you got it, Tamika. Alright, so those of you that are not into essential oils, this is a new category. Thank you, ma'am. This is a new category that we added for shout out to Tamika at Shea Spray. She is a big part of this community, so we wanted her to feel included as well. The next one is called berry frosting. Berry frosting is comprised of strawberry, 1 drop. If you don't like strawberry, you could use blueberry, and that's 1 drop. Your middle is going to be 2 drops of vanilla or yin yang, or I always pronounce this wrong. Yin yang is 2 drops. So vanilla 2 drops, yin yang 2 drops, and your base is going to be sandalwood with 1 drop. Alright, let me repeat that for her. Strawberry or blueberry, 1 drop. That's going to be your top note. Your middle notes are going to be vanilla at 2 drops and yin yang 2 drops, with a base of sandalwood at 1 drop. For those of you that use clean fragrances and not essential oils, this recipe also works for that. Again, we're only making a 10 ml dropper. And again, Tamika, give me the thumbs up when you're ready for me to go to the next one. That one gives you your juicy, your floral, but it still keeps the cake vibe. Berry frosting. Alright, the next one. This one is a unique one. You may have to use, again, for those of you, okay, yes ma'am, Tracy. Those of you that use clean fragrances, this one is either cocoa fragrance or chocolate at 1 drop. This one's called chocolate vanilla slice. Alright, so some of these, again, you'll have to use clean fragrances if you're going to put it on the skin. It's up to you. But chocolate, 1 drop. Tamika, I was iffy on this one, but I put it in there anyway. Vanilla, 2 drops. And this one is definitely going to be a fragrance oil at caramel with 1 drop. Rounding up with patchouli, 1 drop. Chocolate vanilla slice. Cocoa fragrance or chocolate, 1 drop. Vanilla, 2 drops for your middle. Caramel fragrance, 1 drop. And your patchouli base with 1 drop. Of course, you can add these also to a carrier oil. Alright, and I will wait for Tamika to say she's ready. And Miss Tracy, is it a question for me personally or a question for the group? Alright, and that one was chocolate vanilla slice. Tamika said, okay, got it. Tamika said that she is ready for the next one. This one is like a sweet, spicy, and cozy. All right. To me, this was more of a winter one. Cinnamon buttercream. So it is comprised. Our top note is cinnamon leaf or cinnamon, and with this one, 0.5 of a drop. So you'll have to use a toothpick for this one. Just dip a toothpick. All right, 0.5, because that cinnamon can take over. Your vanilla is 2 drops, and tonka bean 2 drops. For you fragrance lovers, yes, you can use these for fragrances. And your base is cedar wood. That is cinnamon buttercream. Let me say it again. Cinnamon leaf or cinnamon very sparingly, like 0.5 of a drop. I will just use a toothpick. 0.5 of a drop. Your vanilla, your middle is vanilla at 2 drops and tonka bean at 2 drops. And your base is cedar wood at 1 drop. That gives you a sweet spiciness, but you have the warm and cozy undertones. All right, and when Tamika gives us when she's ready. All right, the next one is going to be coconut confetti. I figured you would like that one, Keith. Coconut confetti cake is coconut. And for you, Tamika, you might have to wait till you start doing your clean fragrances for this one, because I know this is not an essential oil. Coconut fragrance is 1 drop. Or correct me if I'm wrong on this one. Vanilla is your middle. Of course, we're talking about cake, so vanilla is going to be in just about, actually it's in every recipe, 2 drops. Benzoin is 2 drops. If you don't have benzoin, you can just do 4 drops of vanilla or just X that one out. I don't have any benzoin, so when I tried this, I just did 3 drops of vanilla. And sandalwood, 1 drop for your base. This is designed to make a tropical and creamy blend. Let me repeat it for Tamika again. This one is coconut confetti cake with 1 drop of coconut fragrance. Vanilla, I use 3 drops, but 2 drops of vanilla and benzoin, 2 drops. You got it? All right, and then sandalwood was 1 drop. All right, the next one, to match the other one I gave you earlier, almond amaretto cake. Almond amaretto cake is 1 drop of bitter almond. You can also use almond oil or almond essential oil. Vanilla 2 drops, tonka 2 drops, and vetiver or cedar wood 1 drop. Vetiver is used often in a lot of masculine fragrances. Repeating, almond amaretto cake, bitter almond 1 drop, vanilla 2 drops, tonka 2 drops, vetiver or cedar wood 1 drop. That's going to give you a nutty but sweet with a slight boozy note. And again, while Tamika is making her notes, all right, when she says she's ready, all right, the next one is maple pecan cake. This is actually going to be a combo. Cedarwood was 1 drop. That's your base. Your base is always going to be 1 drop. Your middle, which is going to be your vanilla, is always going to be 2 drops. All right. Maple pecan cake is the next one, and it is comprised of maple fragrance 1 drop, because there is no maple essential oil. Vanilla, which is your middle, is 2 drops. and 1 drop of hazelnut fragrance. Your base is going to be oak moss or patchouli at 1 drop. This is a deep but cozy blend. Maple pecan cake. The top note is maple, 1 drop. Your vanilla middle is 2 drops. And hazelnut fragrance is 1 drop. And oak moss or patchouli for your base at 1 drop. That's a deep and cozy blend. We have 3 more here and we are done. And we'll open it up for question and answer. Strawberry shortcake. Strawberry shortcake. Y'all knew I had to do something fruity and gourmand. Yes, you are correct. These, so this is a 10 ml recipe, and when you finish, Tracy is absolutely right, from Rainbow Soul Company, Rainbow Soul Candle Co. Go follow them. This is assuming that you are using a carrier oil. All right, strawberry shortcake is strawberry 1 drop, lemon 0.5, so you know you're going to have to use that toothpick. Your middle is going to be vanilla 2 drops and rose or geranium 1 drop with a sandalwood base at 1 drop. I'm going to repeat that again. Strawberry shortcake for your top note is strawberry 1 drop and lemon 0.5. Your middle is going to be 2 drops of vanilla and 1 drop of rose or geranium. Your base is going to be 1 drop of sandalwood. All right, that gives you a sweet and floral with just a hint of fruit. All right, Tamika, let me know when you're good on that one. And yes, thank you, Tracy, for putting that out there. The rest is your fractionated coconut oil or whatever you use for your roller balls. Most of us use coconut oil unless there are nut allergies. Shay said she's good. Have 2 more. Buttercream and bourbon. Buttercream and bourbon is comprised of caramel 1 drop, vanilla 2 drops for your middle, 1 drop of almond. So let me repeat that for the middle. Vanilla 2 drops, almond 1 drop. And the base is either 1 drop of cedarwood or vetiver. That one is a rich and unexpected blend. Alright, and Tamika, I know some of these didn't exactly fit your scent profile. I will, Keisha, but I wanted to make sure that I at least added in some essential oils that were on the birthday theme. Alright, let me repeat that one. Bourbon and buttercream. The top is caramel 1 drop. The middle is 2 drops of vanilla and 1 drop of almond, with your base of cedarwood or vetiver at 1 drop. And last but not least, again to round it out with one of Keisha's favorites, lemon sugar cake, the essential oil edition. Lemon 1 drop. The vanilla is your middle, so your top is lemon. The middle is vanilla at 2 drops and orange 1 drop. And on this one, white musk, so you'll have to use fragrance at 1 drop, or you can skip it. I'll repeat it again. Lemon sugar cake. Lemon is 1 drop. Vanilla is 2 drops. Orange is 1 drop. And for your base is white musk. And of course you can substitute your favorite, or you can increase your lemon. There's Essential Flames in the building. Yes, that one does sound amazing. I already know, Tamika, that if you use that, you're going to modify it. Essential Flames, when you do watch the replay, I've been giving you shout outs throughout because I knew you were either going to be on late or watch the replay. Miss Rainbow Soul, you made lemon pound cake. Okay. I appreciate you all, and that was a nod combined to Miss Tamika from Shea Sprays for Essential Oils and Miss Keisha Allen in celebration of birthday. So those are all the blends that I have for you all tonight. If you all have any questions, you got it. Yep, I'm wrapping up too, Shay. If you have any questions, I know Tracy has one. Tamika, I will talk to you later. Thank you so much. Don't forget to watch the replay. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Have an awesome week and a good night. If anybody has any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. And I wanted to say thank you for everybody who stayed all the way through. Don't forget to catch the replay. Miss Rainbow Soul, thank you for the gifts as well as Essential Flames. I appreciate you all. And the replay can be watched over on the tube at Bubblez and Flames podcast. Bubblez is with the Z and Flames is spelled with the Z. Please go subscribe and watch the replay. All right, Miss Rainbow Soul, let's see what your question is. And then we will wrap it up after I answer all of your questions. Thank you for everybody watching, for all the likes. You said a mix. So in future episodes, for those of you that, wait a minute, she said a mixed oil. You want a recipe for mixed oil as in the base? Okay, let me see what she said. For those of you that tuned in late, sorry, I lost my train of thought. We will be having actual live blend games. We will have prizes, we will have giveaways, so this is not going to be the same thing as we normally do. So for carrier oils, I use Rice Bran because I don't want to have somebody have a reaction that has a nut allergy. Most people use fractionated coconut oil, but I use Rice Bran. And that's another thing. If you are new to this, make sure that you learn your carrier oils. There are several of them: apricot kernel, grapeseed, fractionated coconut oil, sweet almond. There are several of them that you can use. And let me see, and thank you, Key, for jumping in. But that is all the blends that I had for tonight. So please stay tuned. You will be able to download the scent tracker when I upload to Bubblez and Flames over on the tube. You will be able to download that scent tracker that I spoke of, because unfortunately I don't have a way to attach files here. But make sure that you subscribe over there, and then in the coming weeks you'll be able to get all of the documentation off of my site. So more to come. Yes, shout out to Essential Flames, aka Tay. She has been killing it with her content. She has been dropping straight fire. So go ahead and follow all of these business owners if you are within the sound of my voice, whether you are on Team Replay or whether you are watching it live. We will be back on next Sunday. Thank you all for all the gifts, all the likes. I appreciate it. And let me hang out. Can y'all get me to 10,000 likes real quick? I appreciate it. And
thanks for the love, everyone.
Say that, Keisha, again.
I said thanks for the birthday love, everyone.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Absolutely. Essential Flames has been taking the content that we cover. She has been turning it into actual content. And shout out to the content crew for following and using the content. Upcoming episodes are already queued up for a 100% masculine blend. Masculine meaning woody, earthy, and masculine for our community resident J-Dot. We've also got gourmands, fruity coming up. We've of course got spa, So all of those have a turn in the series where the whole episode will be about those type blends, and the recipes will be specific for that. All right. So my other blend master had to go, Courtney, but please show her some love at Love You Bunches Candle Co. Shout out to the judges, Maury at Maury Co. and also Model Gear, and Bernie, who was unable to make it tonight. Those two ladies don't have anything to do with fragrance, so they are perfect for judges, all right? Because we will later in the season have some live blending competition. So I look forward to that. The first giveaway will be coming up soon, and I'll tell you how to register for it. But with that, Birthday Babe, do you have anything while they're running up the lights for me? Thank you all. I appreciate it. Do you have anything you wanted to add? Did you hear something new? What you got for me?
That gingerbread one, I think will be fire.
You think so?
I don't know why, but I think it will be.
I'm sure you'll let us know.
I surely will. I surely will. And again, like I said, like I posted earlier, y'all, if you use any of these blends, give Tina a shout out because she is putting fire in our hands. She is making everything so easy for us to come up with blends. If you're intimidated by trying to blend on your own, she's giving you the blueprint.
Blending is fun. It is also very addictive. It is very addictive. And if you are afraid to do blending, start off with 2 oils 50-50. But don't forget, you have other options. So let me talk about that really quick for those that are watching the replays. If you want to dibble and dabble into blending, we talked about some essential supplies. Oh, thank you, Cookie. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yep, Essential Flame says she can never go back. Even if you are just using a 2-step blend. First of all, let me go over the safety precautions. I recommend that you get gloves, glasses, right? Gloves and glasses at a minimum, especially if you are working with essential oils, because they can mess up your skin, to be honest. That's really why you need the gloves. Also, I would recommend either fragrance strips or cardboard stock. All right, those are the basics. You can graduate to pipettes, sample glasses, and also let me not forget, you have to have labels of some sort, whether you use 3x5 index cards, because how are you going to keep track of your blends? I let my blends macerate for about 2 weeks, unless I'm making them for me personally, but the dry down is everything. And also, when you come in here, we did have some blends that were dropped, so make sure you check the comments. And this live will be uploaded to Bubblez and Flamez podcast with the Z. So Bubblez with the Z and Flamez with the Z over on the tube. I cannot upload a 2-hour live over here. They will not let me do it. All right. So blending will elevate your products, no matter what you sell, whether it's wax melts, candles, soap, whatever. If you use soap or you make perfume products, please make sure that you are using skin-safe fragrances. All right. Our featured suppliers for tonight were Candle Science, Midwest, and Nature's Garden. But of course, you can substitute anything that you hear for your own favorite suppliers. So shout out to everyone who hung in. And yes, in closing, oh wow, you all got me up to 11. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. Don't forget to drop your business, your name and your business in the comments, and let's follow each other. I am Tina from Nuts About Candles. This is my candle channel where we meet every Sunday at 9 o'clock. And we are in our Blend Games series. All right. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Have an awesome night. Have an abundant week and a great week at work, because me and Lori start our new jobs tomorrow. All right. Wait, what? A $300 custom order from one of your customers? Wait. Hold the press. Shout out Keisha Allen for that. That is amazing. Thank you all as always for the support. Share a maker, tell a maker. I know, right, Tay? Wow. Keisha is doing some big things. Tell a friend, share with a friend. So we're trying to grow the community. And that way, the more people I have in here, the better prizes I could give out and giveaways. How about that? Because I am a gifting person. I love to gift. Ask my mods, and no, I don't need any more right now. All right? So everybody have an awesome night. It is 11:08, so we're just a few minutes over, but everybody have an awesome, awesome week. And I will see you next Sunday or catch you in the replays. Good night.